Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Jordan from Team Delirium. Today I'm going to be profiling my A Bubble Lives deck. It's a combination between Bubble Beats and A Hero Lives. The reason I'm playing it like this right now is because I like how both the decks play when they're combined together. But anyways, I'm just going to jump right into the deck profile. So, one Elemental Hero Stratos, he searches out for all of your all your Elemental Hero cards, so Bubble Man and Neos. 3 Elemental Hero Bubble Man because he is what you use to go into all your rank 4 exceeds. He's also a warrior, so you can go into your warrior exceeds with him, and he's a water, so you can go into absolute 0 with him. 3 Elemental Hero Neos Alias. He is a Gemini monster, which is good for Gemini Spark. He is also a light monster, and because he's a Gemini, he's also considered a normal monster, which is important for a card coming up. Crusader of Endymion. This is basically a 4th Neos Alias. He's a 4th Gemini Spark target, and he's a light normal. The only difference is that he's a spellcaster and he's not a hero. 2 Noble Knight Gawain. This is why you run the light normal monsters in your deck. I find that this guy is better than Photon Thrasher because he doesn't conflict with the hero lives. Photon Thrasher, you have to have no monsters on field to special summon him. A Hero Lives works the same way. You have to have no monsters on fields to use a Hero Lives. So this is why I run Gawain, because I can still use Gawain when I've used a Hero Lives. 2 Maxi. I run Maxi right now because Dragon Rulers spam a lot, and Dragon Rulers are the most popular deck of the format. So I've decided to run the 2 Maxi in the main deck, and I have considered a third. 3 Gemini Spark. Since you're running 4 Gemini monsters in your deck, Gemini Spark makes sense at 3. 3 Miracle Fusion. It's the most explosive card in your deck. You can go into Gaia with Maxi. You can go into Great Tornado with Stratos. You can go into Absolute 0 with Bubbleman, and you can go into The Shining with any of your light monsters. 2 A Hero Lives. This card is absolutely insane when you summon Stratos with it. It's a win condition because it allows you to special summon Stratos instead of normal summoning Stratos. Otherwise, there's no way to really special summon Stratos other than Monster Reborn. This card is basically a win condition on its own that sets you up for all your OTK plays, and it may seem like a lot of life points to pay, but in the end, it's totally worth it. 2 Super Polys. This is really good against dragons right now, and that's why I run it. They have attributes for every single one of your heroes. They have fire, they have water, they have earth, and they have wind. They even have dark if they go into their exceeds. This is also an out to Dracosac because he's not being destroyed, so you can go into Great Tornado. 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. I've been considering switching this out for Warrior Returning Alive. I'm not sure yet, but right now I'm playing the Mystical Space Typhoons for back row removal and all that fun stuff. 2 Pot of Dualities for consistency. 1 Reinforcement of the Army and 2 E-Calls. This is to search out for your heroes and also for Gawain with the Reinforcement of the Army. The Trinity, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, and Monster Reborn. I still think that all 3 of them are very important. Hero Blast. A common misconception about this card is that you have to destroy something in order to add Alias back to hand. That's not true. You can add Alias back to hand and then you have the option of destroying something. If you can destroy something, then that's when you would destroy something. But if you can't destroy something, Alias has already been added to hand. So no matter what, you're going to be able to add Alias back to hand with Hero Blast, even if you don't have a target to destroy. 2 Compulsory Evacuation Device. This is really good this format because of Dragon Rulers, mainly because of Dracosac, but it's also really good just for getting rid of general exceeds and synchros. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. This card has always been good. People are trying to say that it's bad right now because of dragons, because if you hit dragons with Bottomless Trap Hole, they get their search effect. This isn't exactly true because against dragons you just wait until they try and go into their exceed, because when Dracosac first hits the field he doesn't have tokens to protect himself. Same with Big Eye. Big Eye doesn't have a way of protecting himself, so you banish the exceeds instead of their actual dragons. And then a Solemn Warning and a Solemn Judgment. I've been considering dropping one of these because 2 A Hero Lives, a Solemn Warning, and a Solemn Judgment gets very expensive after a while. Anyways, that is the main deck, and I will be right back with the extra and the side deck. Alright guys, so this is my side deck. I've sided mainly for Prophecies and Dragons, but I also have a couple other cards that work really well against like a majority of decks, so I'll just get right into it. 2 Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. This really hurts dragons. I can't side Imperial Iron Wall, so this is my alternative. Imperial Iron Wall means I can't use Miracle Fusion, but if I have Kaiku, only my opponent can't banish, which really helps me out. The other thing about Kaiku is that the only way for dragons to get over him is if they use Blaster, so this is a really good card against dragons. 2 Fossil Dino Pachycephalo. This is also really good against dragons, and it's also really good against evil swarms. Against dragons, you'd summon this in attack mode because then they can't special summon anything. Against evil swarms, you set this and allow them to run into it with Ophion. Maxi, this is for decks that spam, so Dragon Rulers. 2 Effect Veiler for Dragon Rulers, Prophecies, a large amount of decks. This thing just is Effect Negation, which is really nice. 2 Droll and Lockbird. I only side 2 of Effect Veiler and Droll and Lockbird because both of them can conflict with Bubble Man plays. They aren't like Max C where I can freely discard it whenever I like. So I need to be careful with these 2 cards. Same with all of these extra normal summon targets. So, but Droll and Lockbird is mainly for Prophecies to stop them from adding. Super Polymerization. This is for dragons once again. It's an out to Dracosac. You can go into Great Tornado, and they also have, like I said earlier in the main deck, they have elements for every single one of your heroes, basically, except for Shining, which you just use your Miracle Fusions to go into. 3rd Mystical Space Typhoon for back row heavy decks, and I guess Fire Fists. 2 Mind Crush. Mystical Space Typhoon is also pretty good against Mermails, because when they flip up the Abyss Sphere, and you have a Mystical Space Typhoon in your hand, you can activate it and destroy the Abyss Sphere, and it doesn't resolve. So that's pretty good. 2 Mind Crush, this is also really good against Mermails, and it's good against Prophecies as well, and it's good against anything that searches. 2 Rivalry of the Warlords, this is good against Evil Swarms and Constellars, and it doesn't hurt your deck at all, because 80% of your extra deck is Warriors, and pretty much 100% of your monsters, except for Max C, are all Warriors in your main deck. So anyways guys, that is my side deck, and I will see you when I do the extra deck. Okay, so this is my extra deck. I've focused mainly on the OTK options, so I'll just jump right into it. 2 Elemental Hero, the Shining. It's your best Elemental Hero. You don't need more than 2 because you can recycle it over and over again. Elemental Shining is just a beast. He's usually around 3200 attack, and when he's destroyed and sent to graveyard, you can recycle up to 2 heroes from your banish zone. 2 Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero is really good against Mermails, like really good against Mermails. The more they try and summon, the bigger he gets. He gains 500 attack for every water monster on the field, and then if they try and remove him from the field in any way, bouncing him back to the extra deck, destroying him, banishing him, getting rid of him off the field in any way, shape, or form will blow up all your monsters, or all your opponent's monsters, which is amazing. He's a Regeki on wheels. 1 Great Tornado, has the attack and defense of all monsters on the field. Mainly super poly target, but you can also go into it with Stratos. Nova Master, every time he destroys a monster by battle, you can draw a card. He is only a super poly target. You don't have any way of going into him other than with super poly. Elemental Hero Screedow, he gains 100 attack for every hero in the grave. He's, once again, only a super poly target. And then Gaia, he is a Miracle Fusion target and a super poly target because you run Max C's. But he halves the attack of a monster on the field, and he gains that difference, so he's pretty good. He gets pretty big for that turn. 1 number 16 Shockmaster, because Shockmaster wins games. You call monster effects against dragons, they can't do anything. Call spells against prophecies, they can't do anything. Starleash Pellet Dynamo, with Gawain, Crusader, and Alias in the deck, it's really easy to go into this guy, and he pretty much gets over everything. He reduces the attack of a monster to 0, and he also negates that monster's effect, so really good. 1 Heroic Champion Excalibur, detach 2 materials, and he doubles his attack, so it becomes 4000. really good. He's also a light, so you can use him to go into Shining. And Blade Armor Ninja, he can attack twice in a turn, and he has 2200 attack. These guys are for the OTK. When you OTK, you bring out 1 Excalibur and 1 Blade Armor Ninja, and that's 8,400 damage. 1 Maestroke, the Symphony Djinn, because you can stall with this card by summoning in defense position. You can also flip Ophion onto its ass and attack over it, which is really nice. Degusto Emerald. A lot of people look at this and think, what am I thinking when I put this in my extra deck? Because most people only remember the recycling effect of Degusto Emerald, but you also need to remember that it can special summon non-effect monsters from your grave, which includes Geminis, because they're considered light normals in the grave. So you can reborn your Alias or your Crusader of Endymion for Gemini Spark plays, or for a second Exceed if you happen to have a Bubble Man or Gawain in hand, which is really nice. It's another OTK option. And then Gaga Cowboy, because it can attack over things and burn for game. So yeah, that was the entire deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I really like this deck, and I really suggest that people play it. It has really good matchups against both Prophecies and Dragons. This deck OTKs all the time. It's absolutely insane. Anyways, if you liked the deck, then like, subscribe, and comment below to let me know what you think of the deck, any changes that you would make to the deck, as it would be much appreciated. Anyways, peace out, guys, and see you at the next video.